Welcome back to another Lazy Shell tutorial video. Today's topic is the Formations editor. Formations are the different groups of enemies and bosses you can fight. Up at the top, you can use this drop-down to choose the formation you want to edit, or you can type the formation number directly here if you know what you're looking for. Or if you're looking for a formation that contains a certain monster, you can look for it using this search bar. Under Formation Monsters, you can choose which enemies you want to appear in the formation. You can choose the enemies using these drop-downs, or if you know the index number of the enemy, you can type it directly in this box. Over here you have to choose the Use box on the enemy, otherwise they won't ever show up in battle. The Hide box will make it so the enemy doesn't appear in the battle at first, but can be summoned to the battle using commands in the Monsters editor or battle events. For example, in the first phase of the smithy fight, the machine-made shysters are hidden by default, but then when the smelter does its thing, the shysters are unhidden. These two boxes are the monster's X coordinate and Y coordinate. You can move the monster by changing these two numbers, or you can click and drag the monster in the preview window on the left. A small note, if you check the box to use a monster, the monster will appear in the preview area, but by default, the monster's Y coordinate will be 247, which usually puts them off the screen. So, to get them on the screen, you have to lower their Y coordinate in this box first. And there it is. Here in the preview area, you can use these buttons to make the isometric grid appear. You can use these two buttons to make the monster snap to the left or right side of tiles in the grid as you move them around. If you have both of these buttons active, the monster will snap to the center of the tiles. You can also use this Select button to move multiple monsters at once. Down at the bottom of the preview area, you can choose which background battlefield you want the preview to show. And this button will put allies and their status windows on screen so you can see what everything would look like in a real battle. Under Formation Properties, you can choose a battle event to run at the start of the fight. Battle events are found in the Animation Scripts editor. Regular enemies and most bosses don't have an event, but some do, like the Axum Rangers doing their speeches, or the XOR fight where you start off the screen and then jump onto the tower. You probably could have guessed this one, but clicking this Can't Run button makes it so the player can't run from the fight. You also might have been able to guess from this series of question marks, but this controls some unknown property of formations. As of the time of this video, nobody knows what this does. Every single formation has 0 for this value, except for the Bowser fight at the beginning of the game. All in all, you're better off not changing this. To the right of that, we have the formation music. There are 8 types of tracks to choose from, or you can choose to have the fight continue whatever music was playing before you got into the battle. Be aware that changing the track applies to any formation that uses that type. For example, if we change the track that plays for normal monsters, every fight that is supposed to play the normal music will play the track that we just changed it to. Down below we have packs. Packs are groups of 3 formations. Packs are used by the game to determine who you battle. The game will randomly pick one of the 3 formations in a pack to battle you. In areas with normal enemies, these 3 formations will be different to give the battles some variety. For bosses and other scripted battles where the game wants you to fight one specific formation, all 3 formations in a pack will be the same formation. For example, Pack 1 is used for the terrapin fights at the beginning of the game. When you fight them, the game will randomly select one of these three formations to fight you, so you end up fighting 2, 3, or 4 terrapins at a time. Take a look at Pack 160. This is the pack for the battle with Bowser at the beginning of the game. Technically, the game is randomly selecting one of these three to have you fight against, but since they're all the same formation, it ends up with the same result. You always fight Bowser and King Clink. Like with formations, you can either choose the pack you want to edit by changing the pack number in this box, or if you're looking for a pack with a specific enemy, you can search for it. Also, down below, if you want to see what a formation in a pack looks like, you can press this load button and it will appear up in the preview area. And that's all for the Formations editor. As always, if you find these videos helpful or you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions, anything you want to go over, anything you feel like I may have missed, feel free to reach out in the comments and I'll try to get to it if I can. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.